What's up, everybody? Another comicbookinvest.com CBSI Hot 10 coming at you for January 22nd, 2021. What's going on, guys? Another Friday night, another Hot 10. We got the one and only Ben S., the writer of comicbookinvest.com's Hot 10 that you guys can find over at comicbookinvest.com. Every Friday, he puts the list up. Make sure you guys go check it out after the show. That way you don't get spoiled. You don't want to be spoiled. I don't put the list in the description anymore so it doesn't spoil you guys because you let me know. But by the way, thank you for letting me know, you guys, stuff like that. If you guys ever have any constructive criticism to help the channel, help the show, anything, we love it. Keep it coming. We appreciate you. You guys know how much we love the live viewers, including everybody that's in the live chat. I see a lot of friends in the community. We appreciate all of you. Also, the people that catch us on the rewind, well, I don't know, the replay, I guess you would say. We appreciate you guys too. So make sure you guys also, you should already be subscribed over at Mighty Mel V's channel. What up, Mighty Mel V? How you doing, brother?
What's going on? What's going on? Drunken Chat tonight. New segment is in the building. Mel cast. So what will I be casting tonight? I'll be casting the future of the Marvel Comics, Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Nice. I like it. It's interesting. So make sure you guys check it out over on Mighty Mel V YouTube channel. It's drunken.
You gonna start directing some of those, Mel?
Probably. I don't know what to do.
Make sure you guys check out Comic Barricade as well as Card Stopper. If you guys have seen the Comic Barricade before, you know we've talked about it on the channel. You can use your code word Flipside to get 10% off at comicbarricade.com. They also have the Card Stopper. So for all you trading cards, sports cards, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering fans who are watching that Black Lotus go for $300,000, Stein told me before the show. So
it's got 4 days left.
Woo! Make some money, baby. Jordan's going for 60 grand.
I gotta highlight Comic Barricade because the shop that sells these new boxes, they're so thick that you can't barricade them, man. So we gotta upgrade, man.
We gotta let them know. So make sure you guys check it out.
Should get crazy out there, man.
Yeah. All right. So before we get into the list, Stein, let's let everybody know what this list is. This list, you guys, is not books that are, probably the best books to spec long term on most of the time. These are books that are selling for a lot of money right now. These are the hottest books on the secondary market, and so that's basically what the Hot 10 CBSI Hot 10 list is every week. Stein correlates it every week, takes a couple of days, looks at all of his little hidden places, all of his honey holes to find out all of his information, like Oz behind the curtain, and finds all this information. And we always start off with a honorable mention. And the honorable mention this week is a sweet one. Really cool. Witchcraft. Gotta love this skull cover. I'm always a fan of skull covers. They're the best. And this is a really badass one. Witchcraft number 4, an old school skull cover. We just had DS Comics on Tales from the Flipside the other night, and he made us all freak out looking at some of those old school PCH dark golden age books, as he calls them. Would you consider this dark golden age, Ben?
Well, yeah, I mean, he's boiling 2 humans, so that's pretty that's pretty dark, I guess. I mean, I don't know how much more dark you can get. I mean, I'm trying to figure out the dude though. Like he's like doing a selfie or something. I don't know what he's doing. Like
he's cooked. He's cooked. She's chilling.
Yeah, she is. She's kind of like there's no big deal.
He's cooked. He's cooked. I miss Anthony and Laura because this is definitely the Anthony and Laura special. Shout out to Bird City.
Bird City will be back on the show soon, you guys. Make sure you guys go check them out. Facebook.com, Bird City Comics. Make sure you guys are checking out Comic Book Women also Tuesday nights on Tales from the Flipside YouTube channel. You can find Laura over there, and the one and only Anthony is running the show behind the scenes. So make sure you guys check them out. Jen and Lucy are just killing it. So
the best show in comics right now.
Yeah, shout out to them. But yeah, back to Witchcraft. Witchcraft, a what? 5.5 sold this week for $1,600.
Yep. There was very this must be pretty hard to get because there's not very many sales at all, like forever. So but I saw a 4.0, which is not exactly the same as a 5.5, but it's in the same ballpark at least. Just sold for like $450 just a couple months ago. So that's a big price difference there. But I hadn't seen this one before. Kind of caught my eye, and other than his hand looks really, 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 really small.
Yeah, I was gonna say baby hands.
Yeah, little baby hands, but
Cool
yeah.
cover.
I mean, hey, if you want to cook people in a cauldron, I guess that's
Yeah, it's your
That's
place to go. There's your book. The next honorable mention this week is a new book. I think it came out last week. What is this? Philadelphia?
this week, I believe.
Yeah, this week. Philadelphia, number 12, the Todd McFarlane variant, which is sweet. It's sweet to see McFarlane doing variants like this. I'll pick up McFarlane covers anytime I see him.
No, when I went to Midtown this week, not a lot of these on the shelves. But then again, I can't even go by that anymore because I know Midtown is cutting back on a lot of orders, but it was maybe 2 per store on the shelf. It's crazy.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, they're cutting back crazy.
I wonder if I'm assuming that like the online people probably bought a bunch of these. I guess.
I think what they're doing is, I know what they're doing is they're putting more of the orders online compared to having it in store, which is smart.
Yeah, I mean that's where a lot of people are getting their books from. But this isn't my favorite McFarlane. I like the colors on this,
right?
But it's just a headshot. So I kind of wish he had a little more full body on this.
I like how he's going the really creepy vampire like what was that Steve Niles book back in the day? 30 Days a Night style vampire in these Philadelphia books. Yeah.
Yeah, that was a cool stereo. There's like some pretty good variants on, like from I think there's a Temple Smith's variant, and his stuff always looks kind of creepy.
That's who did 30 Days a Night. Yeah.
Yeah, those things always kind of look kind of freakish, but yeah. So it's not. This is not like a, hey, go out. I've got to go find this type book. It's a $4 cover price. This is selling for like 10. So it's like 2.5 times cover, but so it's a good pickup for cover.
What is it selling for 10? You said?
Yeah,
it's not bad.
No, you're doubling your money on it. But it's not a whole lot of money, so that's why I kind of left it, off the main list this week. But I thought it was a cool enough cover from McFarlane to at least warrant a mention of it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, before we get into the rest of the list, I want to remind you guys about this book that we gave away last week, this beautiful Ha variant, the John Gallagher, a.k.a. Cover of the Year book. I think Patrick won that book last week, so shout out to Patrick. But also, Wanted Comics, big friends of the show, they sent us out those books to give away to you guys, and they actually have a sweet new Star Wars variant out. Yep. Really cool variant, so make sure you guys check this out. This character is causing a little bit of buzz right now, so Might be if you guys are Star Wars fans, you already know about this book. You guys saw the Wanted Comics variant for number 1, just like another beautiful variant on the list this week. This is one of those really cool Star Wars High Republic variants. So make sure you check him out at Wanted Comics. He's got A and B trade dress sets, the Virgin sets, all kinds of cool stuff. So shout out to Wanted Comics, Drew over at Wanted Comics. Good dude.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into it then. Number 10 this week is a sweet Adam Hughes cover. Shout out to the Mighty Mel V who sent this to me. Showed me this a couple weeks ago maybe. Yeah. This is beautiful, man. I like this cover. I really like it. Yeah, I know what you said. That you didn't like the execution, right? You said you didn't like the execution.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I like the perspective look, and at least it looks like he didn't phone it in. But I mean, I don't know. It just something about it just doesn't look right.
You know what it is for me? The price tag at Midtown. It was $60. That's what it looked right to me. But I'm gonna buy it at $35.
Yeah, I mean, I think of Hughes stuff, and you think of perfectly executed is Legion of Superheroes 23 and Catwoman 51. Those are like perfectly executed. This is not. If I put those two up against this is not even like on the same planet.
I love Adam Hughes faces. When Adam Hughes does a good face, I'm all in, and I think this is a good one. I like the face on this one. So, and I always say it. I dig chicks with white hair, man. So that shit's cool. All right. What is this selling for? You said $60 at Midtown. What's it selling for in the secondary right now?
Yeah, it's selling about $70.
So it's a deal, Mel. There you go. Save you $10.
It's a 1 in 50. So I mean, it's not like it's way above ratio. It's slightly above ratio.
I thought this was a 1 in 25.
So did I. Yeah, that's not bad.
But I think it says 1 in 50. If I'm wrong, and somebody can correct me, but
that really isn't bad. Because you figure who's ordering? What is this Black Cat number? Who's ordering 50 of these?
Yeah, Black Cat number 2.
This
it is the 1 in 50. Yeah.
Has anybody ever actually read a Black Cat book?
No. I don't know why they keep giving them books.
I don't either. I mean, I don't know. All the people in the chat.
She'll be Venomized soon. All right, on to number 9.
She wasn't. This is for 2 pages.
Oh man!
Shout out to Joseph Hidalgo. Yo, you won a book last week and you didn't email me. So when you get a chance, email me so I can ship you that book out.
Yeah.
Hey, I want a book too, Mel.
All right, whatever. I got what you need, man. I got a whole box of shit I got to give away.
Oh my gosh! All right, sorry guys. On to number 9, you guys. Number 9 is another book that reminds me of, or a book that reminds me of another book on the list last week. Abbott from Boom Studios kind of reminds me of Serial a little bit. Well, not necessarily. Maybe, I don't know. This could be a fizzle out. Like there isn't much going on with it. It just got hot really quick. We really don't know. Is it worth paying what it's going for, $25 on the secondary market because of option to Paramount, as you say, Ben?
Yeah, and I can't wrap my head around it. Yeah, you're bringing my bad side out, Mel. I can't wrap my head around. I mean, just look back at the last 5 years. If you have any comic sense at all, and every single one of these books that gets optioned by some sci-fi, Paramount, whatever, it goes into oblivion. Like nobody knows when it's coming out, if it ever comes out, even when it does come out. I mean, Deadly Class was on for what?
A week?
A week, and it was gone. I mean, like, it doesn't make any sense. So anybody who's saying, "Oh yeah, go buy this book because it was optioned," is feeding you a line. There's no other way to say it.
No, me and Gary Nessa was on this book day one. It was a pretty cool premise for what I remember, But I also remember that the Tula Lole one, could not find that book for shit. This one was readily to find, but the Tula Lole variant, could not find that for shit. But I'm not telling nobody to go out and buy it. But,
no, and hey, it may be a great story, and it may be well worth buying just for the story. But man, I can't scream it enough. Just because something is one, because it's optioned, doesn't mean anything. Two, this is an independent. Independent options are not the same as somebody speculating that a character is going to be in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Is not the same. Just because it goes on TV doesn't mean anything. It means absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that comment right there that you highlighted from Chris. You know what's crazy? When I went to the shops this week, everybody thought the book, the Abbott 1973, was the first appearance of Abbott. They didn't know about the first series, which is crazy.
Well, and that new series has got that Frizen cover, right?
Yeah, and they wanted 75 for that. So stock to Malone on that one too. Pass, baby.
Hey, I love books that pop up out of nowhere. But what I don't love is when people are wasting their money just because. And honestly, just because somebody says that they guarantee that they know for sure that this is going to be optioned or whatever, means just stop for a second and say, okay, just because Joe over there said that this is optioned doesn't mean that means the book is worth any more than it was yesterday, because it just doesn't. I mean, what was the one book that last week that it was optioned 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Who? Which book?
The one you talked about, Mel. Oh man, chat's gonna kill us for this one.
Yeah, but honestly, that's how much that book means. It means nothing. Just because something was optioned 2 years ago doesn't mean it's worth anything. It's and even when it does, who cares? I mean, think of all the books that have made movies that were supposed. What was that?
Port of Earth.
Yeah, Port of Earth. There you go.
Yeah, Port of Earth. There we go. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, what was that movie that came out where it was like a big giant or the giant?
I kill giants. I smell giants.
I kill giants. Yeah. I mean, that was the thing, because it was being optioned.
That's just sucked. That movie was trash.
Did anybody realize that actually got made? And nobody cares. All these things. I mean, gosh, The Strain was on TV for what, 5-6 seasons,
and it was really good.
And I saw a number one variant at the store the other day for like $10, and it just sat there. Like, nobody cares. These characters, while cool to see on the screen, the reason that DC and Marvel is because they don't just have like, hey, this cool book, that I just wrote in 12 issues and now it's going to be on TV. They've got decades of building excitement. These things don't. Don't throw your money at stuff like this, please.
Yeah. Well, maybe if you have it, sell it.
Old Guard.
Yeah. Colin said Old Guard. Yeah, I mean that was a good movie.
Stumptown.
Yeah. Shout out John Box of Comics. John Box of Comics. Hit me up. Throw me an email at talesfromtheflipside@gmail.com. I need your address, brother.
I got you.
The list is so long with these independent options. So that, honestly, the best independent ones that are Saga, which has never been optioned. So, it's like, you have to think about those type of things. Please don't do that.
Well, if we pissed him off already, Ben, we're gonna piss him off even more right now, because
pissing people off.
Here we go, you guys. Listen, when did you think this book was going to be on here? Like, I figured this book was going to be on here way sooner than it has. This is like crazy. This is the first time it's been on here in many, many months. Star Wars #1, the Marvel #1, old school. The book that was like the only book worth picking up for Star Wars for the longest time is on the list this week. 9.8s of this could have been picked up a year ago for less than 1,000, and this week one sold for 4,500. Ben,
4,500 on Heritage, yeah. But there's other ones that have sold for like close to 25 to 3.
There's no way I would have paid $1,000 for Star Wars #1.
No, there's so many copies of it, but
Right.
I mean, and it's not an original story. I mean, it's pretty much just like an adaptation of the movie. But it is Star Wars. It was, like the first Star Wars comic. So you throw that in there, and that has meaning.
Plus that green Vader with the red eyes is legendary. Look at Leia too. Like this is was this Walter Simonson? Is that who did this? Walt Simonson?
I thought it was Chaykin.
Okay, Howard Chaykin. Yeah, right. Okay, yep. So Simonson didn't he do the newspaper ones, or was that somebody else? Out of William. I don't know. I'm all over the place, guys. All right. So yeah, Chaykin. This is the old school crazy art. Before that, they really had much idea of what was going on. I mean, I think they get to like issue 7, and then you start getting some original stories, right? That are like off the wall, where you start seeing the Rabbit Jackson and all the crazy stuff. But still, this is fun comics history nostalgia. It's exactly what it is. And I think that you're seeing a lot of nostalgia right now.
This week was all about that. 4,500 is crazy. I mean, that is a big number. Now, I did look at I kind of zoomed in on that copy. It was a pretty copy. It was white pages. It was, it wasn't miswrapped. It was a pretty copy. So, I'm sure that probably that had something to do with it. But still, I mean, it's a 9.8, it's a 9.8. Whether or not it looked better than a different 9.8, I don't know. But yeah, that's a lot for Star Wars #1. But
Crazy.
hey, I'm okay. See, I'm okay with people spending. This book at least has longevity. I mean, it's been basically $1,000 book for years. I mean, it was like, it was kind of like ASM 300. That was basically $1,000 book for like 5 years in a row. No matter what, didn't matter when, it would go up and down like $20, but it was always 1,000. And that's pretty much what this was too.
So this is kind of funny. I'm going to show you guys something. This cover right here, as you guys can see, pretty iconic cover. But
we can't see it. Oh, now we can.
Now you can. Well, the cover, right? You can see the cover for number 8. This is a poster that he did for San Diego Comic-Con way back in the day. I think 77 or I think 77, right? And super rare. One of the hardest to find Star Wars collectibles out there. And you can see like this was probably his real vision for it, and he had to do that, right?
That's something. That's weird,
right? Really cool. So I'd love to learn the story about this, but really cool piece of Star Wars memorabilia right there. Cool stuff.
Oh, yeah, that is cool.
All right, on to the next book on the list, you guys, and more nostalgia. And this is the nostalgia that I love. G.I. Joe, Marvel G.I. Joe, the first issue, one of my favorite all-time comics. G.I. Joe G.I. Joe is what got me into comics. Batman kept me in comics. So I love G.I. Joe. When I think of my childhood, this is what I think of: playing G.I. Joe with my brother in the backyard. That's like my favorite all-time memory. I will always be happy when I see G.I. Joe stuff. So to see it on the list anytime is good for me. But I think seeing it 9.8 going for $1,400 is another crazy thing.
I mean, again, I mean, a year ago, this was like less than $400 book. I mean, and Drew made a comment, we're seeing this not just in comics. We're seeing this in sports cards. We're seeing it in Magic cards, Pokemon. I mean, all this stuff from the 80s and 90s. For the longest time, we just thought was garbage. I mean, like, oh, there's no way there's way too many of them. Those are never going to be worth anything.
I broke it down. I broke it down to my buddy. Everything was going in order. Because you the same age. Mm-hmm. It's going in order how it really was. First it was Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Thundercats, Mask,
Voltron.
Voltron is going in that order. G.I. Joe's next. What's after G.I. Joe is going to be Voltron, or Transformers. Like Transformers really didn't even hit yet. I know Ultra's sitting there with his like this.
So Joe Walters says, McClay, did you use firecrackers and gasoline to set up the battles like me and my bestie did? Yeah, and I went to and I know every G.I. Joe fan that had the G.I. Joes when they were kids also got the parachutes that were in the Sky Striker, and you would tie the firecrackers to the Sky Striker seats and throw up them in the parachutes and watch them blow up and come down. And I have G.I. Joes that still have the firecracker marks on them.
And it was always one skilled motherfucker in the neighborhood who could fucking switch the legs with the rubber band.
Yeah. You had to go get some O-rings out of some tool.
And if you pop that piece of rubber band, you were fucked. You get taken to one guy. It was only one guy that could do this shit.
Yeah. Love G.I. Joe's. G.I. Joe's gonna hit in a big way. It has a chance to hit in a big way.
It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit.
So you've seen what's been going on with Star Wars. Don't be surprised if you see something similar with G.I. Joe's. You've got some iconic characters in G.I. Joe's. Of course, you got Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow, but you also got people like I sold a shipwreck figure, an unopened 25th anniversary shipwreck figure for $40 the other day. I couldn't believe it. People are buying crazy figures that I never would expect sell for this stuff, so I could see it coming in comics next. Here you got a lot of first appearances in here, but there's a lot of first appearances throughout the series of iconic characters that you should be on the lookout for, and I think you find that list over at CBSI comicbookinvest.com. They put together some good stuff over there, so keep an eye on comicbookinvest.com for lists for G.I. Joe stuff. All right, well, number 6 on the list is a book that's been on the list many times in the past year. And that is Darth Vader, number 3, the first appearance of Doc Aphra. This book is continuing to go crazy right now. I love the cover, love it, but I always say, could you imagine if this was the 125?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Those two droids.
Think of it this way, though. I mean, because it's not just the first print that's selling now. Now the third print is selling higher than the first print, and the fourth print's almost double. So we wouldn't have all those color variations if this were the variant.
Yeah. Yep.
And the color, I love the color variants on this one. Variations on this one, I think they look the purple and the green and was it red is the second print. I think they all look good. So I mean, it's I don't know what I would like to get your guys' thoughts on what the ceiling of this is. Not the variant. The variant is almost $2,000 now, I think. Or 9 sixes are almost $1,000 for 9 sixes. I would like to know what your guys' thoughts on the ceiling
on the regular
on this A cover.
Well, we're seeing 9/8s at 500 right now, almost 500.
7.
I could see it being 8.
Yeah, 750 is
could it be a $1,000 book?
Oh man,
nah, not a.
How much?
How many was a print run?
If she gets announced in something, if there's news of something and her being in it on the screen on the shows, yeah, I could see craziness. I
say it's settling at 750.
I don't know.
Loved character.
You think about like the like most of these books now, like $1,000 is like is where it's all these books seem to fall now. It's odd. I don't know why. I think it I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't read a whole lot of Star Wars comics, so I don't really know. But because somebody was asking, what's the appeal of her?
Well,
but she's new. It was
Darth Vader.
There is no appeal. She's just new.
She's Darth Vader's main. She's close to Darth Vader, so that's a big thing. Those 2 droids are sick.
Yeah, they're crazy.
Are badass.
Well, I mean, I don't know much about the character, but isn't she kind of like very similar to like a Han Solo, but instead of trending to the good side, she trends to the bad side more often?
I mean, honestly, she's a new character. People knew about the new character. People stocked up on this book. This is why a lot of people are pushing this book. And this is just my opinion. People would,
So you think So you think people are pushing this?
Yes, but it's working because Marvel, Disney listened, and they're going to make a show out of it. And bottom line, they listen to what we talk about. They're going to push this book, and that's what I think happened. I mean, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. In this case, it worked.
I love this right here. Anakin always has to have a Padawan. I freaking love that because you guys know how much I've talked about it before. I love Anakin, the character of Anakin. They did him so wrong, and they're doing him right in the comics. I'm loving it. So I'm a huge Darth Vader fan, always have been. I can't wait to see more in comics, in the shows, anything. And once they get
just as a reference point, there are 1,622 9/8 blue labels of this book. 1622.
1622.
1622. So that's a lot. But let me look here and see really fast. NYX3, 1864. 9/8 blue label.
That's crazy.
So NYX3, $1,000 book.
Patrick said, "Grab those Halloweens; it'll be $100 soon."
Yeah.
Man, listen.
I don't know. I think it's very, very comparable to NYX3.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Like Marco says from Dark Side Crew, if it takes off in the cosplay world, and maybe it already is, but if it takes off in the cosplay world,
and if it sounds like I'm hating, it's because I am, because I had a lot of these and I sold them for like $40.
Well, all right, guys. Number 5 this week is another oldie but goodie, and you guys loved it. You guys in love with this one. Amazing Spider-Man 361, first appearance of Carnage. A lot of stuff going on. Talk about the new Venom movie and all this stuff. Is that what's pushing this, Ben? What's going on here?
I mean, you think about this book, and this book was like my favorite book when I collected back in the. I mean, it just was. I loved Carnage way more than I loved Venom. I thought he was way more evil, way more dark. I just loved the character more. But I didn't really pick this up like I probably should have. I knew that the print run was astronomical. I mean, there's so many copies of this. But again, we're going to come back to, okay, so kids of the 90s loved Carnage. We all have our disposable income now. Now we're buying it. And, there are so many copies of ASM 300 as well. Why this is not that far after Venom? I mean, it really isn't. I think this is a better character than Venom, especially nowadays. I think they've changed Venom so many times that you don't even really know who Venom really is. But Carnage has always been just this complete psychopath.
Yeah.
Hasn't really ever changed. I like this character better. So honestly, it probably was, even though there are so many copies of it, it was probably undervalued when it was $400 for 9/8.
Never. I've sent 3 copies of these in, one of which I found in the garage, and they're all 9/6s. You cannot hit a 9/8 on this anymore. And then this copy was beautiful.
Doesn't this one have a production error on it? Like there's a little tear or something like that on the. I can't remember where, but there's like a little tear on it.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think there is on the back, right?
I can't remember. But it's like on every single copy.
Well, I sent in 2 beauties to Mel and thought
9/6?
9/6. So I sold one recently. Sold a 9/6 for like $375, I think. So it wasn't
really
that bad. Yeah.
Let me up my price.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, listen, I like the character too. I'm right there with you, Ben. I think that Carnage is being talked a lot about in the comics and in the movies, TV show realm, and it'll be interesting what we see with what's his name playing Carnage or
Woody
what's
Harrelson.
Woody
Harrelson.
Harrelson? Yeah,
Can you
crazy.
imagine? Okay, so we had a Venom solo movie. Can you imagine if they really wanted to go all out and do a Carnage solo movie? I mean, it could be like one of the most violent. I mean, it could be like Goodfellas times 10. I mean, it would be so violent.
Carnage USA.
Yeah, I mean, it could be, and it could be sick. I mean, it could be like, whoa, like
Do you
blow,
think
like
Do you think we would ever get something like that from a Marvel property? I don't think we would. Like an
well, but
R-rated, really dark, violent.
I mean, Deadpool. I mean, well, I mean, Deadpool was, produced by Marvel, but these would be Sony movies. So, um, if they decided to go that route, I don't see why they couldn't. And honestly, you think about Deadpool was pretty. Those were hyper violent.
Yeah, they were violent, but I'm talking about like really dark violent. Like you said,
Horror
like
kinda.
horror, like dark violent horror, crazy stuff, almost natural born killers style stuff.
I think that there's a market for that. I think people want. I mean, when New Mutants' first trailer came out, I think most people were pretty excited. Like, oh my gosh, this is like a horror movie.
That's Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Dream Warriors.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, oh yeah, I mean, like, this is pretty cool. And they kind of, it wasn't near as scary as they could have made it. But I think people like that idea because you start throwing in horror with the supernatural, or with like people with abilities like that. It takes it to a whole nother level.
I agree.
Friday the 13th Part 7 did that, and I thought it was great.
No, I don't think I ever made it to 7.
she had psychic abilities and shit. She's just fucking with Jason and everything, and it was great.
Yeah. So Joe says, how dark will Morbius be? I don't know. I mean,
did you hear they pushed Morbius back to 2022 now?
Yeah, that's how dark it's gonna be.
Yeah.
Dark with the lights off.
You're gonna be forgetting about it. Yeah. It's like just like Black Widow. On to number 4 this week, and this book has been on. Here's another like Doc Aphra. This book has been on this list quite a bit lately, and another Star Wars book, Dawn of the Jedi, Force Storm, number 1. And I think this whole series is hot. I mean, it's just crazy. But this is the 1 in 5 Flores variant, and copies have just been selling for outrageous prices.
There's so few copies for sale. I'm actually kind of shocked. Like, you would think when a book jumps to $300, the people you probably used to have that they probably paid $5 for, that people would be getting rid of them. There's not very many of these for sale at
Star
all.
Wars fans, man. We say it all the time. Star Wars fans.
They know when the whole books, they know when the sub books, they just know.
Yeah. Hey, this one kind of blew me away. I mean, that $800 sale is really high. And now there's only as of yesterday, there was only like 7 or 8 listed, and they were all over $1,000. Like,
Katie, you can't hate it. It is what the fuck it is, guys.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And,
hey, I can hate this book. I sold this book for like $80, like 2 months ago.
I think shout out to Bird City and Anthony. I think Anthony sold a newsstand of this for like $400 or $300, something like that.
Not of the variant. The variant was direct only, right?
I don't know. I'd have to ask him.
I think the variant's direct only.
Okay, all right.
And maybe that's why. I mean, if you start looking at all these Star Wars Dark Horse books, the newsstands are probably rarer, but there are a lot of them out there. I mean, it's not like they're impossible to find in newsstand. And maybe that's why this one is, because if it was direct only, maybe that's why there's so few copies out there.
Yeah, and it was raw spec the deck. So the one he sold was raw. So crazy.
Yeah,
I like the cover.
The cover's gorgeous. I'd have to look back to see. There was I think a 9.8 copy listed. I don't know I don't know anything about these characters that are first prints in this, or their first appearances in this. So
there's a lot of them.
I know there's a lot of them, but I don't know which ones are going to stick.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What's driving this? Is going to be show potential? What's going on?
I think it's just everybody specking to death on Star Wars. And they're so rare. They're so rare because you gotta fight with Star Wars fans, who, they're like Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. So yeah, yep, they are. Yeah, it's true hoarders. True hoarders. Yeah, the second print is smoking too, Doc Joe. It's crazy. It's
Second,
crazy.
there's a third print. The third print's, I think, even more plentiful than all of them for some reason.
Well, let's shake up the tree a little bit more because we got more Star Wars guys, and this one is crazy right now, and this is the High Republic #1 comics. What is it? High Republic #1 Paolo Villanelli variant.
Yeah.
It is a homage to Clone Wars #1. Trade and version. What are the version? Are the version going for more than the trade? What's going on with the prices?
So these just, and we kind of knew that once these actually went live, I mean, they were pre-selling ridiculous. So we knew once they went live that it was going to make the list because they were already. I mean, I think the buy-in on these things was what, like $60 for the set or something like that. I mean, it was not much. So
limited to what 600? What is it? It's limited to
like 600,
yeah,
400, or I don't know what it is. I missed out on these completely, but I knew once they went live that they would be on here. So the sales, they're kind of, because the copies are just now getting into people's hands. So it's hard to tell what the actual sales are. Like there was a trade dress that went for a buy it now of like 200 for a trade dress. And then there was a there was a set that went for like 600 or something like that. So it's hard to tell what it was, but either way, they're well over the buy-in price.
I was sitting there, I was like, I'm gonna buy one. Oh, they'll never sell out. Guess what? Story of Mel.
Well, Katie, you're gonna love us then. You're absolutely gonna love us.
I will say this about Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I am not a Star Wars collector at all by any means. I don't have hardly anything. I had all the figures as a kid. I had my Darth Vader carrying case. I had the Millennium Falcon. I had all that stuff. I don't have any of that stuff anymore. But I will say that when there is no MCU going on, that is why this is there. There is nothing for us to gravitate to with the MCU right now. I mean, yes, WandaVision is great, and if you haven't watched it, please do yourself a favor and watch WandaVision. But there's nothing going on. We haven't watched a MCU movie in over a year now.
Crazy.
Black Widow's been pushed back a year and a half. I mean, like it was supposed to have been last April.
Yeah.
It's not, so that's what all the Star Wars stuff. Star Wars basically said, I don't care. There's COVID. I don't care if everything's shut down. We keep going. We don't. Nothing's going to stop Star Wars stuff. And so we're kind of. It's where it is. I think once the movie theaters open back up, I think once people get back to normal, I'm not saying the Star Wars stuff is going to fall by the wayside because I don't think that at all. But I do think that our focus may not be all on Star Wars like it is right now.
Yeah.
Once everything is together like that, you just hope your wallets, man. You know, hang on to your wallets because it's gonna get crazy.
Yeah, it's not gonna be Star Wars anymore. It's gonna be G.I. Joe in a couple months.
Yeah.
All right, on to number 2, you guys. And listen, I talk about it a lot too. You guys hear me say it all the time that I love this cover. Absolutely gorgeous. Haha, #1, the John Gallagher variant. Just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. What else can you say? Right?
I reached out to the seller, my cousin's nephew, sister's mother-in-law's cousin's midwife needs a copy. She's sick. So that's an inside joke, but beautiful cover. A lot of people didn't like the read. I enjoyed the read.
I enjoyed it a lot. I really did. I just hope that they harken back to some of these characters in some way.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty much exactly the same as the High Republic. We knew full well that once this book went live, and for those who don't know, I don't put pre-sales on this list at all anymore. The book has to be live and in people's hands before I'll put it on the list. I was accused many years ago of basically, hyping a book because I put a pre-sale on there, so I don't do that anymore. So that's why we knew this was going to be on here. I mean, it's selling ridiculous. I mean, what did I put? The trade selling for close to 200.
The trade.
I mean, they're both like $150 to $200 books. I mean, that's insane. Again, this is what I don't buy any store variants, so I don't really know what the buy-ins are. But I know they're not $150 buy-ins. I mean, they're probably at most like $60, $70. I mean, that's about it.
Not even. This was cheap. This was cheap
buy-in. Yeah. Dude. So shame on me for not looking at that cover and saying that is one of the creepiest looking clowns.
Yes. Gallagher did his thing.
Yeah. Shout out to John Gallagher, man. Uncanny Knack on IG.
Like, I feel like this clown would be like on the Devil's Rejects or something like that. Like, he's
scary to Spaulding.
Yeah, he probably is. I mean, this is a freaky looking clown. Not that there's really a good looking clown, but this one is really, really freaky.
Well, and I think the story, a lot of people are really digging, the Ice Cream Man stuff. So they're digging on this. Again, the independent comics has really blown up, and they're doing some good things in the indie scene, and this is one of them. So I'm stoked to see it. It'll be interesting to see if it holds value over the next couple of months. So.
Yeah, this is exactly. The set was. I was looking for my fucking invoice. It was like $25. Yes, John Wayne Gacy variant would be insane.
That almost looks like this, right? That almost looks like a John Wayne Gacy type.
So that makes me even hate myself even more that I didn't spend $25 to get this set. Seriously, what was I thinking? I mean,
yeah. Well, I hear what you're saying, Ben, because the same thing happened to me for number one this week. What was I thinking for not getting one of these, in my pull box, so to say? Dr. Aphra, number 7 variant, a new book this week. First appearance in this book of some weird character. Who's the character that's first appearance?
Some weird character.
What's going on with this? What's the first appearance in this?
I don't know. I don't read Star Wars, so I don't know.
Jenny Frison, right? Jenny Frison. Is Jenny Frison cover? Is that what that is? That's got to be Jenny.
It is a Frison cover.
And Jenny Frison is obviously amazing, huge fan base.
Win Delphus.
There you go.
Is the first appearance.
Happy birthday, happy belated birthday, I believe, to Jenny Frison, who the Comic Book Women did a really cool birthday spotlight on last Tuesday. Make sure you guys go check out that episode. But yeah, who doesn't love Jenny Frison? Like, I had never met anybody that doesn't love Jenny Frison's artwork or her herself. Like, she is just great at con, great person, seems like to be a great person in the comic scene. Yeah, this is a cool cover.
What's the deal with her tattoos on her arm?
So it's like a digital type stuff, right?
I don't know. That's why I was asking.
Yeah,
I really don't know.
Marvel rub.
Is it two things? She's got Han Solo's vest on and his gun. Number one. Number two.
And the holster, right? Check out the holster.
And the holster. Number two, with the Midtown this week, all 3 Midtowns, they never got one single copy. This is good. This harkens back to them selling more online versus in store, but for them not to have one, tough find. I couldn't find one.
What are they selling for? What was the highest we saw them go for?
I thought I saw some close to 200.
Oh, fuck that. Fuck that.
Yeah.
What is the regular copy selling for?
$10. If I were buying, I would be buying that A cover. If I was going to stock up on, I would buy the A cover for sure.
Yeah.
And that's affordable shit.
Yeah.
Cover A's, I guess, are selling crazy as well, according to Gilded Collectibles. As a matter of fact, let's see what Cover A's are
Yeah,
selling.
that's it. What's crazy?
I mean, there's probably a lot of them that have sold.
Because there wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot on the shelves. But again, I can't even use that as like a thing anymore because, you know.
No, I agree. Heck, anything we think we don't know. We don't know anymore. Everything that my mind tells me is logical is that the market does something opposite.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy with everything. Like we were talking earlier, collectibles market is going crazy. There you go. Yeah, $10.
Yes, $10.
Yeah, I don't know what crazy means.
Well, like I said, probably a lot of sales.
A lot of sales. Look at
that. But hey, I think $10 is a pretty good gamble on that. If whatever this character is, I don't know. It's not like a human. It's an odd looking something or another. I don't know what it is, but
I got 2 copies and they're buried in the box, so I'll revisit this in a year.
Well, very Star Wars heavy list. I apologize to, I think it was Carrie tonight, or Carrie or Kelly tonight, but we love you just as well. We love everybody that was in the live chat tonight. Thank you for hanging out with us every Friday night. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hit that like button if you guys had a good time tonight. Make sure you guys hit that bell to get notified of all the shows on the channel this week. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on. Don't miss Ultra Maximus and the Wednesday Night Presser. And Ultra Maximus is going to be with us on Drunken Chat following the show. So make sure you guys head on over there afterwards. And, keep your eye on the channel. Make sure you let us know how we're doing. Any constructive criticism is warranted. So hit us up, and we'll talk to you guys next week. Adios.